All right, today I would like to talk about the neglected solution to the Nigerian high level of inflation. And I call it neglected solution because sometimes some solutions look very obvious, but sometimes it looks like even though they appear obvious, but nothing seems to be done about it. So CBN has increased MPR persistently now and has made interest rate to be very high. But what's interesting to note is that having done this for over a year, quite frankly, the price of things and inflation has remained very high. And there was a report I saw by ProShare, and it's titled Unlocking the Nigerian Economic Prosperity, and it said filling the policy gap. And do you know what it stated? It stated that, number one, for us to be able to see the kind of target we are looking at, that's bringing exchange rate down to about 1,000 naira, that we might have to increase the foreign reserve by 50%. A 50% increase in the foreign reserve to about $60 billion. About $60 billion. And the reason is because if we do not increase that foreign reserve, then we will not have enough to be able to intervene in the market and be able to bring down the value of dollar vis-a-vis naira. But what's interesting in this report is the fact that all that CBN has done so far has not worked or has had minimal impact. And the recommendation is the fact that there is a need for rethinking of the other options that can be used to curtail this. In the last administration of CBN, they did not just deal with inflation using the tool they have like MPR, CRR, and the like. They also were supporting a lot of export initiative, which is why I'm appealing to the CBN executive, CBN governor, that look, in as much as you don't want to get involved in a lot of intervention that is supposed to be on the physical side by ministries, departments, and agencies, many of these organizations don't have enough funding. Like EEG, for example, is not working. Some of the initiatives that CBN had in the past that saw a gradual increase in the export proceeds coming into the country is what I think CBN need to consider. Such that at the end of the day, whatever support that is needed to increase production and to give incentive to facilitate repatriation of proceeds is what we should be seeing. CBN released a report recently that they will not extend export proceed repatriation time. I'm okay with that. I don't have any issue with it. It's within their power to be able to do that. But what I'm not saying is, what are you doing to increase the export proceed? Considering the fact that your job is to curtail inflation. That's why I said this is a neglected solution to Nigerian high level of inflation. We have all the products, commodities, minerals that can be exported to bring in the foreign exchange. But guess what? The kind of support required to help the manufacturers, to help the farmers, to help the miners, Ministry of Mine does not have the money. Ministry of Agri does not have the money. Ministry of Trade does not have the money. CBN have the money. CBN have the money. And if they do their work well and increase non-oil export, it will help CBN to be able to drive down inflation and help to achieve the objective for which CBN governor have been hired, which is to help to curtail the challenge of inflation. So I think it's time in the new year to rethink the strategy CBN is adopting. I believe in the genius of the and not the tyranny of the or, this or this. So I think CBN is doing the tyranny of the or, focus on only your core area of monetary policy and not supporting fiscal policy, even though it affects you. In as much as you don't want to take up that role completely, you can work with Nexim, you can work with NEPC, you can work with Ministry of Trade, and you'll be able to provide necessary support, particularly with intervention fund, that will help to be able to achieve this objective. So that we don't start this year and go through the year till the end and we are still having this very high level of inflation because our inflation is imported inflation largely. I mean, we import petroleum products and we import it at an expensive rate. We import diesel at an expensive rate. Thank goodness with what's the name, with Dangote now. But Dangote still have to import crude at an expensive rate because of dollar exchange. So as long as dollar to naira is high, whatever is being imported in finished good, in raw materials, in feedstock to refinery will be expensive. So we are importing inflation and it's affecting every other thing in the country. So rather than focusing on foreign direct investment, which is one of the whole idea of doing MPR, if interest rate is high, money market rate will be high, then you'll be able to get people to bring in money into the country, foreign portfolio investment and the like. But quite frankly, while we are doing this on one hand, we should engage the genius of the hand and support non-oil export on the other hand. I'm hoping this will get to the people that need to see it, particularly the CBN, to see what can be done, that this neglected solution to Nigerian high level of inflation can be brought to an end. I believe it can be done because we have commodities. I posted a video recently on the product, I call it the commodity of the future. The commodity of the future. I call it the commodity of the future because this commodity, and that is soybeans, is now over $90 billion. And we have the land mass to cultivate it. So we can decide to focus on few commodities with high demand around the world so that we can export them massively and be able to generate the foreign exchange we so desire. My name is Medela, but I'm your export doctor. Thank you very much. See you in the next video and bye for now. Bye-bye.